Hello, beautiful soul. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Roya Allegra. This is my space of the internet where I share my stories from trauma to empowerment and just reflections on aspects of our conscious collective and the ways that we can harmonize them far more deeply. I am going to be talking about the women wound. Not necessarily regarding family lines, but specifically on the focus of friendships and just connections to women in general. What it feels like when you walk into a room full of women in their power and the way that you are able to hold space and connect to them. The women wound for me is when there is this rift of energy of where I'm noticing differences, insecurities, jealousy, or that someone's taking up too much space. Personally, I have never let these triggers or fears inside of me actively make me treat a woman differently. But this year I definitely came to the acknowledgement that I've been avoidant of the fact that these triggers and fears and insecurities often do make women approach sisterly friendships differently. I was someone who was super avoidant in my experience with women. Not necessarily the connecting aspect, but if there was any kind of rifts or misunderstandings, I would shrink and become a people pleaser and kind of just agree with the other person and not necessarily stand up for myself, which in turn created faulty power dynamics with women that could have really been avoided if I just exited the connection or just stood up for myself a bit better. I think I could have avoided a lot more chaos, just been more honest with myself that specific connections were probably not made for me to actually get close to that person. And so I want to speak on the women wound because it really is prevalent that these inner critics and fears within specific certain women can actually cause them to treat women a certain way. And this isn't to bring light on that in order to create an even more divide. That's definitely not my intention. It's actually so we can just honor where we are at, honor where that woman is at, honor what you're feeling inside. When you walk into a room full of girls, do you feel intimidated? And to really be honest with yourself about that. Are there parts of you that are just in ultimate comparison mode? Are there parts of you that are jealous? And to just fully feel that, fully feel it, and at the same time detach from it, because it's not really you. It's almost like this storyline that can date back even to our ancestry, where we had to kind of compete with other women for food, for shelter, for our partners, right? So we have this like deep woven mental conditioning that essentially divides women and puts us against each other. And obviously with a lot of the ways we were raised with marketing tactics or beautifying ourselves or just comparing ourselves with models on the TV and things like this, it's naturally created this comparison sphere in our mind. And so it's maybe not even you that's feeling insecure. It's literally just these programs that were implemented in us by a young age, or maybe your family implemented them in you. But the point is, wherever they came from doesn't necessarily matter at this point. If you want to be guided to a life where you feel more expressive and free and safe around women, then you need to give that to yourself by just noticing these thought patterns, seeing where you feel constricted in your body. Like, is there a part of you that like is really constricting yourself around girls because you're so deeply afraid of judgment. Trying to extract these thought patterns and just take them for what they are, notice them, and instead of letting this be the forefront of your personality or the way that you navigate being around women, taking that energy back inside. Stop nitpicking, stop judging, stop like trying to decode this experience, and just be in your heart's energy. Of course, protect yourself. Don't become a people pleaser. Don't become so agreeable and like moldable in every situation. This isn't what I mean. But in order to just simply be more in tune with yourself is to really take all these thoughts and mental programmings and send that energy back inward. Like, stop noticing the way somebody does a certain thing or how they dress and how you're not dressing a certain way. Just experience humans for what they are, which is being able to sit with really anyone on the planet and listen to their story, hear their wisdom, hear their flavor of life, and just being the witness of their own totality of their being is what being a human is about. Be the ultimate witness in your insecurities and fears. Deeply being honest with yourself is just such a beautiful gift you can give yourself, because really being friends with women is like creating heaven on earth. Having these sisterly connections where you can pray and dance and be in ceremony and sing with each other is just so fluid and harmonious. To be able to be held in a sisterly connection like this is just as important as romantic connections as well. Because the way that you can be held and truly be seen with no judgment by a woman is simply going to be different than a partnership in general terms. Deeply pray for all women on earth to, at some point in their life, feel held, seen, and safe in the experience of what other women are like. And for you to not feel like you have to mute and alter the way that you celebrate your own beauty and essence and expression because you're afraid of someone thinking you're trying to outshine them. Like, I really believe that we have the abundance to all shine and the abundance to all celebrate each other's differences and the way that we express. I think that this would create such a deeper, heart-opening experience in your life. To navigate these shadowy energies of resistance that create a division between you and certain women. And of course, to be on the other end of it, to understand that we are basically programmed and channeled to be against each other in some ways, to kind of understand that some women are going to feel jealous and maybe you're going to feel jealous, and to just be with those feelings, whether it's in somebody else or in yourself, and not being so reactive or judgmental around it all, because at some point we've all felt it before. And I think the more that we just openly express these things that have been lingering in the shadows for who knows how long, like many centuries, that this is how we begin to grow and heal with each other. So I pray again that all women get to experience the harmony of beautiful sisterly connections, and I am sending you so much love. You're so appreciated, and thank you for being here.